Hey, what up, everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is EverQuest P99. And today we are on the green server on the level 16 Enchanter, about to ding 17 here on video for you. But in this video today, we're going to be talking about Project Quarm. I don't know how to say it. I always say everything wrong, at least according to the comments. So Project Quarm, Project Quarm. Let me know how you say it. If I say it wrong, I probably get more comments. So Project Quarm. We're gonna talk about that. It's a new. I'll just read it. It's a new server, I think, coming out. Uh, Time lock progression for this game for Project 1999. I've always played on green. Am I gonna play this? We'll see. But I'll read this to you. You can watch me as I ding level 17. Tell me if I'm doing it right. If I'm playing the Enchanter right. Let me know in the comments because I was feeling like a little bit rusty. Oh, by the way, I had a chatathon this past Sunday for Gems of War. It was a 9-hour live stream, so my voice is a little bit taxed. I always get kind of like, I have this. After I do that live stream, usually takes me a few days to recover, so I couldn't put out the weekend video. I'm sorry for that. I hate that I didn't, but it is what it is. There was a 9-hour live stream on Sunday, and I just couldn't get it out. So sorry about that, but here we are back on it for Wednesday. Project Quarm. One box Planes of Power, it says. With the release of the Al-Kabor project's completed code and move to open source, I'd like to do what I had originally envisioned for EQ-Mac years ago. A one-box POP progression server which would eventually stop there. As the EQ-Mac Al-Kabor server is now preserved for its fans for all time, it's time to actually continue that dream. Main rule set, time locked progression server, 6 months of Classic, 6 months of Kunark, 6 months of Valius, 6 months of Luclin, I think it's Luclin, and Planes of Power is the final expansion. One box policy enforced by IP and manual CSR intervention. 2002 era combat formulas accurate to Planes of Power. Listed both on a private login server and the Al-Kabor project's public login server. MGBs at level 1 and other TAKP-like features are enabled selectively. Selective client-side quality of life, mouse wheel camera, buff timers, auto stand on cast. Additional quality of life may be added in the future. P99 style camp, KSing, and training rules. Raid rules to be determined. May try rotating some ideas. The 20% experience bonus present on TAK project is enabled here. We are using the same group experience rules as June 2003 EverQuest with one exception. A sixth will not reduce your experience gain. The Planes of Power Monk AC nerf is not present here. Plane of Knowledge can be ported into during any era, but knowledge books are not present in any town. The Plane of Knowledge scrolls will be added to one of the level-appropriate Druid and Wizard portal merchants that normally sell planar ports for wizards. Optional rule sets. These 3 rule sets may be toggled on independently or all at once at level 1 at any Priest of Discord. The process of doing so resets your character and all of its data to as if it had just spawned in the game world and prevents future rule set toggling. Self-found. This is a game type that restricts interactions with standard rule set players. This is more akin to a group self-found group Iron Man rule set if enabled by itself. The following restrictions are imposed. You cannot group or raid with players who are not also playing the self-found rule set. You cannot be buffed or healed by other players whom are outside of your experience credit range. You cannot trade with other players whom are outside of your experience credit range. You cannot purchase items from merchants that aren't already on the merchant. Okay. You cannot loot items that were handed to an NPC by a player off of the NPC's corpse. You cannot sell or buy items in the bazaar. You cannot pick up dropped items on the ground that are dropped by other players. Standard ground spawns do not apply to this rule. You cannot loot items from opened corpses. You must receive initial experience credit per the rule set to loot the items you wish to loot. You cannot loot items from corpses of mobs you weren't in group or raid experience credit range of. You must engage a creature at 100% HP to receive experience or loot for yourself, your group, or your raid, and deal at least 50% of the mob's health and damage to receive experience. Note normal damage rules additionally apply to the target for experience credit. The NPC regenerating to 100% HP will reset this flag. So that was self-found toggle you can do. Here is solo only toggle that you can do, or you can do both. But here is solo only toggle. You can toggle this at the Priest of Discord, and it resets everything and makes it this. Solo only. This is a game type that restricts interactions with all other players, including other rule set players. The restrictions here override the restrictions in self-found if they would conflict. This is akin to a solo self-found Iron Man rule set found in other games. The following restrictions are imposed. You cannot group or raid with other players. You cannot be buffed or healed by other players. You cannot trade with other players. You cannot purchase items from merchants that aren't already on the merchant. You cannot loot items that were handed to an NPC by a player off of the NPC's corpse. You cannot sell or buy items from the bazaar. You cannot pick up dropped items on the ground that are not dropped by other players. Standard ground spawns do not apply to this rule. You must engage a creature at 100% HP to receive experience or loot for yourself and deal at least 50% of the mob's health and damage to receive experience. Normal damage rules additionally apply to the target for experience credit. The NPC regenerating to 100% HP will reset the flag. You cannot loot items from opened corpses. You must receive initial credit per the rule set to loot the items you wish to loot. So pretty much similar. All right, we have hardcore, so you can toggle this on too. Hardcore. You can toggle just hardcore, or you can toggle all three, or you can toggle two of the three. Hardcore toggle. This is a game type that will result in permanent deletion of your character upon first death above the item loss level. This is also known as a permadeath rule set found in other games. There are no restrictions like the rule sets above have, but this may be toggled on in addition to the above two rule sets. Note characters who have hit a milestone under the hardcore rule set that die will be broadcast to the entire server. Their corpse will remain in the game world after they die for the normal amount per their level. There will be no character recovery after death except in the case of server failure, where we will systematically restore the characters affected. This is a game type that will result in permanent deletion of your character upon your first death above the item loss level. What's the item loss level? We plan on hosting a testing period, and we'll be wiping the server on release. Come join us on Discord. So that was like what they posted when they were opening up the beta for it. But yeah, that's what it is, and it sounds pretty cool. Am I going to play it? I don't know. The last one I tried to do, the last TAKP server thing I tried to download and install and everything just wouldn't work on my laptop, so I'm kind of thinking this one won't work on my laptop. But if I can figure it out, it does sound pretty cool. I'm not excited about Luckland or Plains of Power. I've always been kind of a classic Kunark Valius type of dude, and you know, maybe one day I'd be interested in those two, but I kind of want to explore Kunark and Valius a little bit more. And I don't have time to play every single day, so it's taking me years to explore that stuff. I'm just glad it's still around for me to explore Kunark and Valius. And by the time I actually am satisfied with classic Kunark and Valius, like, will I have time to go do Luckland and Plains of Power? I don't know. But, I don't know, that's kind of how I feel. If I'm able to play it is the first thing. Will it work on my computer? I'm sure it will but can I figure it out? I couldn't figure out another one where I couldn't figure Faceless One wanted me to play this other TAK project, I think, something like that, and I tried to install it and it just would not work on my laptop. So if that's the same case with this, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. And then the other thing, I don't really care about Luckland or Plains of Power, but that is a year and a half after, so that's quite a while from now anyway. But I do love the toggles, the self-found, the solo only, and the hardcore. That should be really good for other people making content. And if I was going to make content, I would definitely... If I was going to make Project Quarm Quarm content, I can't decide how to say it, sorry. If I was going to make that content, I would definitely do self-found, solo-only, hardcore, stuff like that for sure, at least eventually. I might play normally until, like, they make it to Plains or Luckland and Plains of Power, but at some point, 100% I'd be doing, like, at least hardcore or something. Solo-only, self-found. It all sounds really fun. And just to have the what's it called? The the stuff that makes it the game easier that isn't like changing the whole game. The dang, I can't think of nothing right now. Anyway, the quality of life stuff. Some of that I agree with, some of it I don't. Like I like the buff timers, and I like how them brightening the game so it's not so dark, and like certain little tiny things I do like. But other things where they just change the entire game, make it way too easy, like the 20% extra experience and stuff, and taking away like experience. Anyway, people will be in the comments if I keep going. Anyway, yeah. Am I gonna play Project Quarm? I want to, but you might still see me on green. I've always been on green. The most people play on green out of anything else. Is everybody gonna go to Project Quarm? If they do, more green for me, I guess. But I would love to if I can figure it out, and would love to do a hardcore or self-found or solo. That'd be really fun. But I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Are you gonna do that? Are you gonna play it? It sounds pretty cool. It's coming out October 1st, by the way. So very soon. As I release this, it's coming out in like 3 or 4 days. So you better be ready to go because you know how it goes. People race to certain camps and they lock it down. They want to be the first one to get the mana stone or whatever. So yeah, hopefully you're ready because it's coming soon. I think what would it be like Sunday? Something like that. So, yeah, let me know what you think, what you're going to do. If you can help me with my Enchanter here. If you can help me with installing this stupid thing on my computer so I can play Project Quarm too. Because otherwise, I'll just be here on green playing my Necro, my Enchanter, and my Shaman. And I've been thinking about playing my other characters as well, like my Shadow Knight and Bard and Wizard and stuff. So something to look forward to. And I'm going to get back on those weekend videos for you. It was just the chatathon. That's the only reason you didn't get one last week. So this is the I'm trying to get back on top of things video. But like, share, subscribe, consider joining. Helps a lot. Tell your guild about the channel. Comment below. Let me know what you think about my gameplay here today. Ding in level 17. Should I play Project Quarm? Are you going to play Project Quarm? How can I install it on my computer? Etc. Peace out.